What's up, my school bosses? Thank y'all for tuning in to my channel again. I appreciate the love and support. So one of the last times we talked about the 5 love languages. So this time around, I want to talk about the 5 stages of love with building on a relationship. So before we get into that though, I just want to make this huge disclaimer that I am in no way, shape, or form a professional relationship advisor. This is me simply sharing my truth about some tools that I use in my marriage to help me. So, with that being said, the first stage I want to talk about is the falling in love stage, which most of us refer to as the honeymoon period. The honeymoon period is pretty much that stage where you get to know each other on a personal and a physical level. You're in a situation where that initial attraction is everything. You're on cloud 9 and you just giddy in your own way. You don't see flaws. You in a position where you're avoiding any conflict. It's just you're in a situation you're on cloud 9. But in this stage, it is important to understand that before you move on to the second stage, you have to start to acknowledge your partner as a real person with real flaws. You also have to understand that this is the stage where you start the process of learning how to deal with those conflicts and finding resolve sooner than later. Because if not, that could roll over into the second stage and so on and so forth. That's something that's never fixed. So the second stage I want to talk about is becoming a couple. The becoming a couple stage, things are getting more serious. You guys probably talking about moving in together. In this stage, you're on a road to a deeper emotional connection. It's stable. It's a little less passionate, but you comfortable. You're letting your guard down, and you ready to just enjoy life. But in this stage, it's important that you guys understand before moving on to anything further. This is the stage where you just sit down and you guys reflect and evaluate your wants and your needs individually and together as a couple before you move on to the next stage. And that stage is stage number 3. Stage number 3, man, big stage, disillusionment. This stage is pretty much, well, the end all be all, sort of, so to speak, for me, because this is a stage where you know if you guys are going to survive. It's the tell-all. There's still that strong connection. You're still in love, but life is starting to get the best of you. You have more stressful situations than fun situations. You questioning if this relationship is the right one for you, if you make the right decision to even enter this relationship. The disagreements, the feeling like you've been taken for granted is at an all-time high. It's ugly. It's ugly. And in order for you to make it through this stage, like, you have to put a lot of work in. You have to put a lot of maintenance into this. You guys understanding that you have to start to begin to have realistic expectations of each other. You're gonna have to have some trust, a commitment, and above all, one of the most important things in this stage for me is you're gonna have to have an outlet. You're gonna have to have some self-love individually, self-care, in order to manage things moving forward. Most couples don't make it through because as an individual, you don't find that outlet. You don't find that time that you can take for yourself. So with that, in return, you never get a chance to reset, and you start like falling off the deep end and putting your partner in a position to make them feel like they have to be your everything, the end all be all. And nobody likes that. So coming to a conclusion that you guys have to find a mutual level of love and support to hold it down together and individually in order to make something beautifully manifest from this. You have to work together and work. Because without it, oh my God, there is no stage number 4. And stage number 4 is being in the state where you're creating lasting love. That lasting love, that ultimate comfort, so to speak, where that stability and that security is there. Like, you know for certain that you want this to last forever. So you're ready to put in the work. You'd have made it past the first stage of passionate love. You'd have made it past the second stage of romantic love. You'd have made it past that third stage of convenient love. And now you on stage number 4, where the love is based on a certain level of compassion and acceptance of each other. And you can't get stagnant. You can't get stagnant and just lose touch. You have to put in work in this stage as well, because if you don't put in the work, you're not going to get the reward. I mean, it's real simple. You always have to maintain that connection. And again, that's something that you have to do individually in order to produce something for that other party, for you guys to do something together. And last but not least, that final stage is finding your calling as a couple. Like, you guys have to find something that's bigger than you, but that's for you together as well. Like, any distractions that you have, those distractions should consist of things that you're building outside of each other in order to eventually bring together and to manifest into something, again, beautifully set for you guys to enjoy together. You have to keep those connections open, and those connections are individually. You have to take care of yourself. You have to advocate for yourself and find an outlet or outlets, excuse me, to keep it moving. You have to keep that connection with your partner. You have to spend that time, go on those dates, take those trips. You have to, I can't stress enough. You have to pour into anything you feel like that's worth having. And number 3, you have to give it your all. When you distracted outside of that, yourself, you can't get that time to yourself, and you can't make that time for your party. Your partner. You still have that open opportunity where, yeah, you're distracted, but it's something else that's going to end up coming. You got to make it worth your while, where eventually it's going to come back together and build something for the both of y'all. So these stages are important, and they work beautifully together. And that last one, don't think everything's sweet, because you can be in a situation where you can backslide to stage number 3, the disillusionment, where the chaos is at an all-time high because you got stagnant somewhere. And then also understand the positive in it. You can backslide to number 3, but you can also experience some joy from 1. We hear all the time how people say, man, like, I still have butterflies. It's just like I'm falling in love all over again. That's the positive in it. So again, working this stuff together, working these stages in order on a strategic level, it may not turn out everything that you want it to be, but you know for certain that you put in that work, that it's going to be something better than not, for sure. So take care of yourselves and take care of your partners. Love.